Oh, you haven't washed your hair in 5 days?
Yeah.
Jennifer.
It's been a while.
But it looks so pretty.
I know.
You dirty bitch.
I'm a dirty bitch. I didn't say I haven't showered in 5 days.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast with myself, Miss Red, and the ever so gorgeous, the ever so fantastical sexual Jennifer is here.
Hello. I know you're going to screenshot that. I'm like,
yes, I love to screenshot the moments when Jen is literally being the most ridiculous.
She's a bully.
I am not a bully. I'm your biggest fan, you bitch.
You are the best. You are the best. The best bully.
The best bully. I'll take it. I'll take the BB. BBL, best bully love. Lover. Ooh, that's even better. That should be a sticker.
Yeah. I
best bully lover. So, you guys, we are coming up at 6 weeks before Sinners and Stardust. What? We are amped. We are also very excited for our interview today. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we do have a very big announcement for those who are listening and watching. I mean, we're probably going to already have posted it on our socials, but we wanted to talk about it. So, Jennifer, fake drum roll, tell them what we're doing.
So, a couple of our big announcements this week. We are starting 2025 author and vendor announcements. This week, I'm so excited. We have so many amazing authors and vendors and narrators, and just everyone's been so great so far. I love it.
Okay, so one of the things that I hope we have is another Steve. Can we talk about Steve real quick?
I don't know why. I thought you were going to say like nacho cheese station, like a cheese fountain.
But now you have to explain that. Now you have to explain. You have to explain the nacho cheese dilemma that I always have to endure with you and Joy. Like, I just don't get it.
Every time we go on a trip with me, Red, and Joy, Joy and I are obsessed with 7-Eleven.
So random.
Like, okay, not just 7-Eleven, but like the nacho cheese and chili that you can get from 7-Eleven. And every time we go to Boston, we end up, like, there's a 7-Eleven close by, so we always go. But the trick is, and I'm sure some of you know this, they're like, ooh, they want you to open up the bag of chips and, like, pour the chips in, and then you just get a little bit of cheese and a little bit of chili. But then your nachos get soggy and gross before you can eat them all. So what we do is you get the boat, and then you fill up the boat, because it's the same price. You fill up the boat with the cheese and the chili, and then you buy a separate bag of Tostitos chips. And then you can munch on it all weekend.
You guys, my face was from laughing. Like, I can't stop laughing because it is the most ridiculous thing. And I sit there and watch them, like, just pumping this cheese.
You just hold it now. Most of them are fancier, and you just hold it the whole time. It's like,
I fucking can't. And like,
when we were in Denver.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
They they were out of the boats with the chips. And I asked the lady at the counter, and she was like, I think I have some to-go boxes in the back. So she went back and got me a whole to-go box, and I got to fill that up. And then she didn't even charge me for that. She was wonderful. She just charged me for the bag of chips.
It was massive, you guys. And I'm literally, because at this point, because we had a rental car, I had gone in, I needed super glue because one of my freaking nails popped off. And like, I got my super glue, I got an ice cream sandwich, and then I sat in the car, and I'm just watching. Jen walks out with this like thing of nacho cheese, and then right behind her is Jess with like 3 bottles of champagne and orange juice. No, we gave him to the hotel staff.
Gave him to the hotel. Because we were like, ooh, we're going to want mimosas tomorrow. And then none of us wanted any.
None of us wanted anything. We were dead.
No.
But what I was talking about earlier with having another Steve, because people would be like, well, who the fuck is Steve?
Yeah.
So when we were in Boston the very first time, there was this like bellhop guy named Steve.
Yeah.
And he was so fascinated by us. And so every time we left, and we left the hotel multiple times, but every time we came back,
hilarious, you know?
Oh my God. It was, and every time we walked back into the hotel, we'd be like, Steve! And he would just be like, hey,
So
ladies.
obnoxious, but he loved it.
He loved it. So I hope we find one of those. The only thing I can think of is the bartender that we got the name wrong. The best person at Boston Park, though, who's put up with all of our shenanigans, but yet still, yes, he is obsessed with us and we are obsessed with him.
I love him so much. He can never get rid of us.
No,
ever,
he's
ever.
stuck. He's stuck.
Listen, I love Mario. It took me a long time to finally switch because he was our first person we talked to. We would go there, we would talk to him. He's wonderful. He's amazing. And then they gave us someone new, like, because he runs all the all of the, I don't know, the big contracts and stuff like that. Yeah. And then once you're an event, after a certain period of time, then they hand you off to a manager. So that manager specifically handles your event. And I love Lauren. Lauren's wonderful. She's our manager. But it took me so long to stop messaging Mario for things because we had done it at that point for like months and months. I think it was like 8
months.
Yeah. Every time I had a question, I would ask Mario, and then he's like, Jen, you know, like I love talking. You get to ask Lauren. Lauren might know. And I'm like, I don't want to leave you.
You're our Velcro baby. Don't leave us.
I'm like, don't leave me. I need you.
But yeah, you guys, we are 6 weeks away from Sinners. We are so excited. We are so excited to meet all of you, attendees, authors, vendors, narrators, special guests, everybody. We are so excited to meet you.
It's gonna be so
it's just crazy. It's so soon. It's crazy. But yeah, so we have an amazing interview today. Jen, who did we interview today?
Today we have Miss Tasha from RIP Bookbox.
Yeah. So you guys check out her bookcase. If you literally only listen to our podcast, just go watch the video to see her amazing bookcase. It is epic. So please enjoy Tasha from RIP Bookbox. Hey guys. All right. Please welcome Miss Tasha from RIP Bookbox. Hello, my dear.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm tired, but I'm good. How are you?
That's naturally, me too.
Really good. Having a great time right now. Why?
Which is why Red's messing up. You know, it's totally fine. I live the life, and I like to blame it on Jen most of the time, but most of the time it is me. It is 100% me.
Sometimes it's me.
I don't me this time. You can blame me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll take it. That's fine. So, where are you? Are you dealing with this horrible heat wave? Like, where do you live?
I live in Pennsylvania, so it's humid, but it's not terribly hot here.
I'll be driving through there on Wednesday to go to West Virginia.
Oh, yeah, we're close to that.
Yeah. I live in Connecticut, so I have to go down and then spend 6 hours or so driving through Pennsylvania. It's so much fun.
That's so boring.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm in San Diego, and there's been this gnarly heat wave, like gnarly. It is for San Diego. It's really hot. It was 106 yesterday, which never happens in San Diego. So I was dying.
Yeah. That sounds
I'm in
awful.
Connecticut, and it's like I went to step outside today and literally stuck like 1 foot outside because I was like, "Ooh, I'll sit outside and work and all that stuff." And then it's so muggy, like. The humidity is disgusting. Like I run a dehumidifier in my house, and I have to change it multiple times a day right now because it's it's like a big one. It's like a big dehumidifier, and I have to change it because it's so gross out. Like, no, thank you. Like I live in South Carolina or Florida. What is this?
The South. Just say the South.
No thank you. And then I'm going down there on Wednesday. So stupid.
Well, my dear, we are going to ask you some questions. Jen, would you like to start? Would you like me to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Go ahead.
So, what made you want to open a bookish shop?
I have an accident, actually. I've owned a small shop for a very long time. When I had my daughter in 2020, I taught myself how to sew, so I was making kids' clothes, and I had a small shop doing kids' clothes. And then I started no one had the weird dark designs that I liked. Like I liked quirky stuff and everyone did like really cutesy designs. So I started learning digital design and digital art. And then I opened my second shop because as my daughter got older, it was really hard for me to find time to sit and sew. Like when she was an infant, she would nap, but then I couldn't. So it was easier for me to just grab my iPad and start drawing. So I was a digital like artist for a while and did a lot of like textile design. Um, and I met my good friend through all of this, and we were trying to get tickets for a book signing, and we failed. And we were both just like, this is so annoying. Like, we're never gonna get tickets. We're never gonna get to go to a signing. Like, all we want. So originally, like, talking about starting a signing, and we were like, well, we don't have like the funds to do that. Like, we don't. You need funds to start a signing.
Yeah.
So I was just like brainstorming with her, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we did like read in peace, and it was like a Halloween themed signing. And then she's like, well, what about a book box? And I was like, girl, do it. Like, I'm really busy, but like, let's do this thing. I was just going to design for her. Unfortunately, she's a teacher, so she had to go back to school if she didn't have time. So I kind of took over. And that's where we are now. She's still really supportive. We're still really good friends, but, yeah, that's where we're here now.
That's awesome.
So your book box was technically supposed to be a convention.
To be a signing because we just wanted to go to one and we couldn't get tickets.
Yeah.
We were like, let's just do our own. At least we can go.
And like a couple years ago, there weren't there were signings, but like you didn't know about them. Or at least I didn't know about them until probably like 3 years ago. And then it was like, oh my God, this is a thing. And then I feel like social media kind of blew up, like Book Talk and Bookstagram, and then now there's all kinds of signings. So it's like, it's always funny to like look back and be like, oh yeah, it was really hard to get into them back then.
I know, it's crazy.
So tell me, this kind of like, is it a little bit of an, like I said earlier, tell us about your name. So like, what made you think of that? Was it just being Halloween, or was there anything else behind it? Like, what does it stand for?
It was literally because we wanted, like, we are both very like spooky people. Like, we dress our daughters in spooky things, and that's just our vibe. So we wanted, like, we were gonna do like a costume party signing, so like everyone would come and like do trick or treats, so like the authors could have little treats to give out to people. And I just thought it was like this brilliant idea. And I was like, we could call it like Read in Peace because it's like spooky, and like RIP, that's totally Halloween vibes. It was just so random, and like I said, it was an accident.
I love it though.
Me
like
too.
Just because obviously we're very spooky and dark. We love all that kind of stuff. Especially now, because why is Halloween decorations already out? It's July. Like
3 days ago,
crazy.
My daughter was like, so can we start decorating for Halloween? And I was like, I mean, you can. It's like, what's stopping us, you know? So like we went to Michael's and looked at some Halloween stuff, and I was like, I don't know, it just brings me so much joy. Like everyone's always like, because I decorate super early for Halloween, and then I take down my Halloween stuff like November, probably between the 1st and like the 10th, and then I put my Christmas stuff up because it's just like I love when everything's decorated, but Halloween's definitely my favorite out of all of them.
My whole house is like Halloween. Like, that's like all year, so this is the only time I can shop. I can only buy like decorations for my house now.
And I will say Michael's has stepped it up, I feel like. Like, I've been seeing a lot of, like, TikToks and Reels about people going and shopping there. And they have, like, oh, you're a cutesy girl? That's okay. They have a whole pink section for Halloween now. Like, it's insane that they have literally, like, oh, hey, any genre you want for Halloween, we got you.
I'm still waiting for my Home Goods. I just saw someone's Home Goods. I think they live in like Nebraska. I think it's like a coupon person that I follow. But they were in Home Goods the other day, and all their whole store is Halloween right now. And I'm like, come on, Home Goods in Connecticut, let's step our game up. Release my Halloween stuff.
We just went 3 days ago just to check. We go like once a week from now on until we start getting stuff.
So what made you decide to switch from like convention, or is that still like maybe on the table for like future, or are you like happy with where you're at right now, like as a bookish shop and like book box and stuff?
So I'm happy with where I'm at. My problem is there's no signings around me. So as a vendor, as like a book box owner, like for me to travel so far with so many books is really difficult. So maybe someday. I just started a secondary like box.
Ooh.
So I don't know, that might not happen now. Like that's
Yeah.
my focus. But maybe someday. Or if someone else wants to make one, I don't care. But
Boston's not super far away.
like a 9-hour drive.
So close.
It is. It's actually not that bad, but yeah, maybe someday. I don't know. It's just not my focus at the moment because I'm just so busy.
Like exactly, Jen's like, I'll be a vendor, I'll be there, and I'm like, I'll be an assistant, I'll be there with her at some capacity.
I drag Red to all the conventions.
I give you guys props. I could never, like, if I did one, it would be small. Like, there is no way I could plan something big.
Well,
that stresses me out.
Like ours it's like decent size, but there's some that I'm just like, you have how many people? I'm like,
for your first year, like that's insane.
How many vendors? How many attendees? I'm like,
no, I'd be like,
but I'm like, I
have ADHD, so like my brain would just be all over.
I formed Bethany. That's why everyone's like, you guys are so organized. I'm like,
it's Bethany.
My brain. Well, my brain also won't let me like be organized unless I have forms, which Bethany introduced me to. So every single time a Dark Collective member brings something up, I'm like, let's make a form for it. Let's make a form. It's all in one spot.
There's a website?
No, it's Google Forms. Or Google Docs.
Right.
And it's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. And I love Bethany forever for being like, Jen, check this out. See what this is.
So again, like you had just said that you were going to be starting a new project, but with RIP Bookbox, how long have you been in business for?
So technically, I think we loosely just started like talking about it last June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're still pretty new. We're about a year, I think, into it.
You guys have crushed it on your market.
You guys are killing
I know so many of like your reps and stuff, and they have nothing ever but amazing things to say about you all. So like,
we have had amazing reps. Our past reps, our current reps, like we've gotten very, very lucky.
That's awesome. That is amazing.
And Katie, she's my magical bookshelf. She's like one of my best friends, and she's always like, "They're so amazing." Like, look what we got. Oh, yes.
Katie's so sweet.
I know. I love her. So out of all of the, and this is probably gonna be a really tough question, and if you have multiples, that's fine too. Do you have like a favorite book box that you've done?
I like how she's looking behind herself in her bookcase. That's epic.
Honestly, it like kind of changes daily.
Yeah.
I think
so. As of 3 hours ago, no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I think today might be Sinner's Sideshow.
Sinner's Sideshow.
Glow in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that glow in the dark?
Is that Aiden Pierce? Or
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I
yep.
stalked that box and I wanted it, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. It's so freaking pretty though. Like, I love that book.
But I swear, every new book like is my new favorite.
Yeah,
got it.
But I don't love any of the other ones less. It's just like I think because it's new and fresh, and I'm like, this is the best one I've done yet. But like I said that about all of them. So
it's like when people keep having kids, it's like they're your babies. Like you have another one, and you're like,
something like that.
I don't love that one any less. But
I was gonna reference it to a new pair of jeans, where I was like, oh, they're new jeans,
child.
That's even better. Like Jesus. So okay, first of all, I love that so much. The comparison of children or jeans to her book box. That just made my day. But what has been the hardest part about owning a shop?
There's like a lot of hard things. I guess. Like just I'm not like I'm not good at time management, so I have to like really like be strict with myself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there's just I'm like, oh, it can wait till tomorrow. But then like the next day I'm like, oh, it can wait till tomorrow. But I can't do that because I like order from overseas. I have to get my orders in or people won't get their boxes on time.
Yeah.
And that's why like people are always like, oh, you ship so early. I'm like, because if I put it off, like what if something happens? Like I have to just do it when I can do it. Like so the time management aspect is really hard for me, just being a neurospicy, lunatic all the time. But other than that, probably just like like I've made some really, really great friends, but sometimes the book community can be really, really hard. Like sometimes it can, I've met people that are great, and I've met people who have taken advantage of my kindness, and so that's been hard.
I get that 100%, especially when you meet people that wear their heart on their sleeves. That's definitely a me thing. Jenn knows this from the minute she met me. I just want to say yes to everything. I want to be like present. What do you need from me? I'll give it to you. My love language is giving. But sometimes you have, like I said this in the last episode, which is crazy because I just edited it today, but you have to be selfish when it's your own business. Like you can give and you can be kind and you can do everything. Jenn knows this with owning 2 businesses. Like you have to be selfish sometimes. And it just sucks because then people take advantage of you. And so I think that's such a powerful message, especially coming from anybody that owns a small business, especially.
Yeah. It's just hard,
No, for sure.
But I agree.
Also,
I
you
agree
have to
with
learn
all
like
of that.
when to draw the lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not good at setting boundaries. So that's something I struggle with.
My mom used to call it chalk boundaries. She's like, you do chalk boundaries. They're easy just to wipe away. You need to make sure that they're more permanent markered.
Yeah, no, that's me.
I always
but that's the goal for 2024. We're going to be better at it. Someday we'll get there. All right. So do you release any like limited edition or like event exclusive books?
We do. All of our books are only for sale once. I do have overstock because I order extra for damages. So eventually we'll have overstock, but once they're gone, they're gone. We don't reprint them. We don't order like triple the amount. And then event exclusives, this is actually our first event attending as a vendor. So we did 3 event exclusives for this, which I think was my limit. I think that was enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
But
so with that though, you do all the artwork, right?
So I've done a couple of the not safe for work art prints that we do, but I usually hire out. I don't like drawing people. I can do it, but I don't want to. I don't think it's on par with like other people's not safe for work. But all the cover designed end pages that aren't artwork, edges, like all of that, like I design myself.
That is awesome.
That's
amazing.
I love how I just asked that question if you had event exclusives, and I 1000% got the Santana Knox exclusive that you had.
Oh, I'm so excited for it.
I totally forgot though. I had to start writing them down because I keep forgetting what I've ordered from where, and then I'm like, oh wait, you said 3 event exclusives, and I was like, I did order that because I ordered it like the day that you announced it and like released and opened up pre-orders. I was like, fine, that one's mine.
I saw your name on there. I did see your name come through.
It's so crazy because we have like an attendee chat, to let the attendees get to know each other. And one of our attendees made the most beautiful spreadsheet of everyone's pre-orders and like when they close, and like it is epic. And it's in our Facebook group too. And like because we want to make sure the attendees have a safe place to chat and stuff like that. But I did read like someone's like, did anybody else spend all of their money at RAP? Like literally bought all 3.
Everyone's like,
we went crazy. Like it was an accident. We have a lot of accidents.
It happens. That's me when I go to every single event. I'm always like, all right, I should only take like 2 or 3 designs because bringing shirts and like hoodies and stuff, you have to bring all kinds of sizes. I'm like, I have to bring all kinds of designs, all kinds of colors. But I'm like, no, I'm going to limit it to 3. And then Red will message me and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Because she never brings
like 15 designs. And I'm like, why did I do this?
It's literally crazy because the ones she doesn't think that will do well, per se, sell out. They're gone. Like, it's insane. Like, I've worked a few events with her now, and I just see these things just disappear. And like, I will say though, like, just like you probably have a best-selling box that you've done where one sold out the quickest or whatever, Jen's is thick thigh stabby vibes. People live for that. Like, it is her like sell point. So I have to ask, like, do you have one that you like sold out the quickest? Like, that was the one that like everyone like freaked out over.
Probably last month. I think our Nordica one sold out the fastest.
Oh wow.
But our box the other day, that one sold out pretty quick too. Not as quick, but like within the first day.
Yeah.
Well, you're just killing it then, girl. Like, good for you. Like, claps, claps.
You're like,
but
in there.
It's good. You're good. But like I say all the time, you guys, like, I don't have this beautiful bookcase behind me. Jenn has a beautiful bookcase. Tasha has this gorgeous bookcase behind her. So speaking of books, what is your favorite genre read? Or are you reading something that you're obsessed with right now? Or do you have a favorite?
I do. So, I mean, I love my dark romance and I love monster, I love paranormal, but I think, which this is going to be so crazy because I feel like people probably won't expect this, but my absolute favorite genre is Omegaverse.
Oh, I wish
which
Bethany
is even
was
weirder
here.
because I don't feature Omegaverse. Like, I've never featured an OV book in our box, but that's like all I read all the time.
Oh, Bethany's going to be so bummed right now. Like,
that's like one of Bethany's go-to. Bethany loves Omegaverse.
We call her Mother Monster. Like, just like I had no idea what Omegaverse was when I first met her. I had to have her explain it to me. And I was
to be fair, you also didn't know what a trigger was, and I didn't know that when I recommended some dark romance books. Yeah. And I was like, check your triggers.
I was like, cool, whatever that means.
Haunting Adeline. I was like, oh.
That was the first dark romance book I ever read, because I come off of the men with wings genre. Like, that's the best way I could put it. And I was like, well, Jenn, if I'm going to be a part of Sinners and Stardust, I need to start reading dark romance. And I was like, I've seen a lot about this book, Den of Vipers. She's like, no, don't start there. Don't start there. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, just start with Haunting Adeline. It'll be fine. I was like, okay. I didn't know what a trigger was. But honestly, I can't hold it against her because I didn't even know what a trope was. Like, I have learned so much in the past year. Like, it's insane.
I am too. Like, I think Avatar is like the first. I mean, I used to read way back when, and then I stopped. I was a mom and I'm an adult. I have jobs, and then I started reading Avatar, got me back into it. And then I think I read Haunting right after Avatar. And that's when I was like, oh, I love dark romance too.
You're like, this is wonderful. He's so obsessed with her, and is it healthy? No, but it's fine. No. It makes me happy. Great. So, do you have like a dream author to work with, or have you already worked with a dream author?
So, I only feature authors that I have read and loved. Like,
that's so cool.
Purposely reach out to authors who I love. So obviously I love all of our authors. That being said, I would love to work, and this is like one of those like pipe dream type things, you know what I mean? But I would love to work with Runix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you said, but my mind at first I heard Rune Dannon, and I knew that was like what you said.
Or that,
like,
Crown Prince of the Valbarn Fae.
Stopped, and then my mind kept going, and then it was like da-da-da-da.
I said that too. Or the other one, I think, which also is a pipe dream, but like I would do really bad things to be able to do a Twilight. Like,
yes.
I would. I mean, it's just not possible. We would never be able to pay what they would
every
expect.
Single day. Yeah, so you're literally paying them 110% to be able to. You're like, just let me make one. You can make it.
Pay you $500,000.
Just open the box and there'll just be rhinestones everywhere. Like, just make it sparkles.
Yeah.
Or like a soap shaped like a phallic shape, but like glitter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's like, this is the skin of a killer, Bella.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, that's epic.
That'd be wonderful.
That's great. So, being a shop owner, obviously you're in a vast world of other people in the industry, other things in the industry, things that you have dealt with. So what has been some of your biggest achievements, but also some of your biggest like downfalls or anything that you're just like, I wish I would have done better?
Honestly, I think my biggest achievement was like starting.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's like getting early, because you'll sit there and you'll think about things, but then you have to actually do it. So I think that's probably my biggest achievement. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Downfall, sometimes the drama is just silly.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's why I stay off
Otherwise,
Threads.
there's not much.
I don't get on Threads ever, because unless I see like one of my friends or something, like, you know, on Instagram, it'll like be like, this is the little Threads section, and then I'll like click it and then like heart, and then I get off Threads because it's so negative all the time. And I'm like, I'm gonna hurt my own feelings being on here, so I'm gonna stay away.
No. I do enjoy it because there's things that, I mean, I wouldn't know, especially when there's like,
that's true,
like problematic things coming out. Like, I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. I'm so busy. I'm designing. I'm not even paying attention. So like, I do like it for that, but I agree, it can be very, very negative.
I look at Threads as like, you know, I've been on there, I think maybe 15 times in total. Like, I'm never on there. And so my feed is always hysterical because it's literally like book, hair, book. So it just looks, it's like the weirdest things because like but you're so right, Jen, because it's like positive, negative. Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, it's just such a crazy platform. Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, if something is bad enough, it's gonna make it to Instagram, you know, like,
and
it's
TikTok,
gonna make it over here, or like I'll have like people are not worried, like they are not worried to bring things to people's attention at all. So I'm like, someone will message us, or like me personally email if I need to know, or hopefully. But yeah, it just, I don't know. I think it's like I get on Threads and I just like my mentality is like, ugh, I don't want to be on here. Get off.
Yeah.
But I want to definitely give you props just because I watched Jen start Sinners from the minute she came up with the idea to where we're at now. And it's insane. Like, obviously, like, she has support, she has friends, she has help, but like just getting it off the ground is a feat in itself. And like, so I understand how that is one of your biggest achievements. And I applaud you on it because it is a hard industry. And it's kind of crazy how big the industry has gotten just in the past 2 years.
Yes. It has. It's crazy.
Yeah, and like
be a part of most of the time.
Yeah, and like a lot of people say, like everyone has ideas, but it takes someone special to actually run with those ideas and start a business, and you know, be excited to do it. Woo! Let's go. So we talked about like whenever you started. So what is one piece of advice you wish that you would have had when you first opened? Or that you could give someone that is, you know, fresh out the gate?
Don't trust easily. Everyone wants to be your friend. Like, but do they actually want to be your friend?
Yeah.
Listen, that's so crazy Ren. You said that. I know. No, but it's so true. It's so true. Like, I would love for you to elaborate that because this question is one of my favorite questions because we asked these specific last two questions to every single person and their authors, vendors, narrators. Everyone is so different in their response to this. But like in my end, I provide a service. I do hair. So people sometimes just want to be my friend so they can get free hair. You know what I mean? And that is the hardest thing to just be like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's hard to like pick the people out that aren't doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's hard because like you want to be wary, but like I know for myself, I want to believe everyone is just an amazing person and everyone loves everyone and no one's ever out to get anyone. But you know, I mean, just in the last year of Sinners, I've learned so much, and I've definitely had friendships that are no longer here that, you know, their kind of true selves came out, and it was just like, oh, well, that sucks. Like,
it's hard, like, especially as someone who is neurodivergent. Like, I already struggle with a lot of like social aspects as it is, and I struggle with like, I just don't like, I'm not very good at I don't know how to like word it, but I guess my words, like, I'm not always good at like saying what I mean. And I never want to like hurt people. I never want to like, I want to assume that everybody is going to love as hard as I do. And it's been somewhat of a harsh reality realizing that like these people that I genuinely loved and I really thought were my friends weren't. Like, they didn't think of me the same way, and that's kind of like a hard reality, but you live and you learn. And you know, if someone like came to me and they were like, hey, like, what's difficult, I'd be like, one, watch your shipping times because working overseas is like impossible. And two, just like, just be careful, like, protect yourself and protect your brand, because that's at the end of the day, like, you can't be afraid to hurt people if it's what's best for your business. And I don't mean hurt people like in a negative way, but like if it means like you have to end a friendship, then you got to cut it off. That's what's best for both of you. It sucks, but it's kind of the nature of business, I guess.
Yeah. You live and you learn. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but definitely. And again, that's why I love this question so much, because it comes from the heart, you know, and people who listen to this, you know, it's so crazy because I know our number one listener is Jen's cousin. Their cousin, like, it's so cute because they're like, oh, we got mentioned. But like, I have one of my clients loves our, like, literally every time I see her, she's like, oh my God, I listened to your episode. And I love that question because I like one of the interviews we had was talking about like, know your support system. And that resonated with her so much for something that she's shifted her business. So I know that, you know, it's hard to talk about, but it does hit certain people and it does help them.
Yeah. And I don't want to see someone have to struggle with the things that I have, you know what I mean? Like it's not fun for anybody.
I know. Well, we are so excited to have you at Sinners, by the way. Like, first of all, I can't wait to see your setup. I'm going to be, you'll hear me before you see me. I promise you that. But
I don't even know what my setup is going to be. So we are both going to be surprised.
Yay. You're like, I'll fucking worry about it then. I'm not worried about it right now.
To be fair, my first convention, I didn't realize that like people could have different setups. Like in my mind, it was just like the table and you put your stuff on top of it and called it a day with a banner. And then I like started seeing like other convention setups and I'm like, holy shit, like how much space do they have? Like people are bringing in chairs and like full backdrops. I'm just like, my gosh.
Tasha, you should have seen us at a Polycon. Jen had me and Jess building stuff, and it was the
funniest thing in the world to watch Red. I had like this cage thing. It was like
there were 2 parts
cage. All she had to do was like stick them together, and then there were these little like brackets that you clipped on.
Oh, well, so
she
bad.
got almost the whole thing built. But then she needed to, I don't remember why, to move it to a different table. When she picked it up, the whole thing fell apart. Like, all of it. Like, think of, like, little square cages. All of it fell apart.
Bad.
It shot across the aisle. Like, things were flying everywhere. Jess has a hammer and is like...
It's a mallet. She had a mallet.
Being the shit, trying to build this other piece. I'm, like, the volunteers are walking by, like, are you guys okay? We're like, we're fine, thank you. Oh my God.
It was literally like, but positive to the story is that she created like a way people could walk into her booth and shop versus just like walking up to a table. And I thought it was so innovative, but the whole time I'm like, yeah, we built this. We did this. Like, literally. So it was wonderful. But so yes, I'm really excited to see what you do. You're probably going to do something radical. I love that word. It's so 80s.
Can it just be really spooky? I don't even care what else.
Yes, make it Halloweeny. Get us lots of Halloween.
I'm like, get a fog machine.
Someone sharing on Facebook the giant Costco skeleton that you put in your yard.
It's literally as big as my bedroom. Like, I
told my husband that we need it, and we somehow need to get it to Boston 9 hours away, so that I can put it at my table.
That would be your whole booth.
It's just
that's all we're bringing. No
She's
books.
Like climbed on top of. Tasha has like book boxes hanging off its hands and stuff. It's like,
oh my gosh, Jen, you need to go get it for Sinners. Like the entrance, just see a giant skeleton. That's
got kind of a hole in the middle of it so people can walk through.
It's perfect. It's fine. We'll fucking bedazzle it. You know I will. You know I'll fucking sit there for like 5 hours and just do one eyeball. It's fine.
I'm not saying we get like this much done.
Exactly. So we love asking this question just because it is year 1. What are you most excited about for Sinners and Stardust?
My goodness. I think probably there's 2 things. Meeting everybody, because this is our first event. I did go to a Polycon as a reader, but I didn't go to meet people, so I didn't get that chance. So I'm very excited to meet everybody. The authors, you guys, the readers, the other vendors, the narrators. I'm so excited for that. But I'm also extremely excited just to experience our first event as a vendor. Like, I'm excited to just get creative and do fun things, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. No, I completely understand that. Technically, Sinners will be Bethany's first event too, which is really cool. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
Bethany did like a little pre-order for her shop, and it's so cute. But I'm just like, I'm so excited to like see everyone that this is their first convention as a vendor and author and stuff like that, and just like, I don't know, walk around, like talk to everyone and like see how everyone's doing, and I think it's gonna be so much fun.
I know. It's gonna be so fun. Exhausting though, if it was anything like full time. I was like a zombie and I wasn't even doing anything.
Right.
I just couldn't believe how far away everything was. That was the hard part for me. Like,
because so big.
It was so mad. Like, I literally said, like, if anybody's ever watched The Walking Dead, that's where I would go. Like, if I had to leave my house, I would go live in the Gaylord in DC.
Yeah,
like,
literally,
that is where I would live. But no, like, I think that one thing I'm so excited because of our layout. It is so cohesive, and it's just like, I'm so excited for the meet and mingle on Thursday night, just because like for me, it's just going to be really cool to see all the people that I've interviewed, but also get to meet everybody who I didn't. So, you know, like we all have different things that we're excited for, but it's so exciting also to see how excited the attendees are. They are amped right now. It's going to be fantastic.
And I am excited for Thursday too. I actually forgot that that's like a thing.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Miss Tasha, R.I.P. Bookbox. I love this interview because not only was it pretty on brand for us being so unhinged that it was perfect, but also thank you so much for taking the time and just being so heartfelt and honest. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. I can't wait to meet you in a few weeks now in person, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a little blasty blast. I can't wait. So what are your socials? Like, where can we find you?
Okay. First of all, thank you guys for having me as well. So you can find us at RIP Bookbox on Instagram. We also have TikTok. We don't really use it though, so don't bother with that. And ripbooks.com.
Oh, awesome. Oh. Well, again, we're so excited to have you. You are awesome. I love your personality, by the way. It's very much my brand, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
I'm just really awkward. Thank you.
I love it.
The more awkward, the better.
Right? We're fine with it. We're totally fine with it. All right, you guys. So please make sure to go ahead and follow RIP Bookbox on Instagram. Check her out on socials as well as her website. And make sure you guys tune in to the Dark Collective podcast every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern. We are literally on every single platform. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.